everybody, we're back. It's Cindy and Jeannie, and we're having coffee. Jeannie, you were the miracle girl. Look at you.
It's
And
been great.
it,
Yeah,
it has. It's been a year.
it has been a year.
It's been a year. Oh my gosh.
Those of you who don't know, I went through a year's worth of surgery and almost died. And, my surgeon said when he opened me up, he went, I almost closed you back up again. You were such a mess. And I was like, oh. And he said, you had four big abscesses. I had diverticulitis, so it's not cancer or anything, but he said one abscess can kill you. Did you know that? And I went, I did not know that, but I'm not dying. So I'm just telling you. And, but it has changed my life. I'm truly not the same person, Cindy.
Yes.
And
Well,
even, I am very clear on what I will put up with and what I won't put up with. And I have such great compassion and love for people. But,
yeah.
my husband's like, what the hell happened to my wife? It's like, no is a complete sentence. Okay, Joe? It's no. But life is good. Life is good, Cindy.
Right. Well, today we decided to talk about invitations.
Ah,
Okay.
great.
And I have a rule, especially
Mhm,
if you're in the process of manifestation.
mhm.
Never judge an invitation. If you can make it because you don't know who's there and who you might meet,
Good.
because that's how the universe works. If you get an invitation to anything, don't say, oh, I don't want to go. So and so will be there, or I don't really want to do that. Or, you don't know if you're in the process of manifestation. That's what I'm saying. So if you have something on your radar that you want to accomplish, whatever that is, and most of us do, never decline an invitation because you don't know who you're going to meet and who they know or who they know,
Mhm,
etc., etc.
mhm.
I have had a lot of that happen to me lately here in Florida because I'm new here. I really don't know that many people, but I'm getting invitations to different things because I went to a place I was invited to. And it's interesting how all that works.
Well, it is because the connections, again, like you said, you may think, oh, well, this is just this or that, or this person's going to be there. It's like, whatever, if you can go, if it fits your schedule, obviously you can't go if you can't go. But I do agree that you can meet people who are unexpectedly there. I have a dear friend up in Idaho, and about 15 years ago, she was invited to a neighbor's house because they were throwing a dinner party and they had this guy visiting from Texas. And they said, we need an extra person, to round out the table. And she went there, and it was instantaneous. They fell in love like immediately, and they've been married. They got married in the Greek islands. It's crazy. And she was like, that was some kind of blind date, Yeah, she had no idea. Yeah,
I think all of us have stories like that,
we did.
where if I hadn't gone here or if I hadn't done this, I wouldn't
Mhm.
have met my husband if I hadn't accepted an invitation to go to the Palomino Club. Exactly. So, and it was the week that Jose Cuervo was number one. And
Yes.
my,
Your
I,
song, for people who don't know, Cindy Jordan wrote Jose Cuervo. You're a friend of mine. She won the Country Music Award for the Song of the Year.
and
It's a big,
Billboard, yeah,
it's a big deal.
and Billboard magazine. And so I'm learning more about country music fans in Florida. In Texas, they're easy to find. In
Oh,
Florida,
yeah.
it's a kind of a, it's very eclectic here. So,
Mhm,
but I'm connecting with country music lovers now. Again, because I accepted an invitation to go
mhm.
somewhere that I wouldn't have gone to if I hadn't accepted this other invitation.
Well, and I want to say something here too. For those of us who are on like social media, I get friend requests. I know you do too. And I look at them closely, like who are their other friends? What's do they have an about thing there? Where are they located? What are they doing? And, anyhow, a lot of them are bogus and, I just block them and whatever. But I go into my heart and I just ask, is this someone that I really would like to have some sort of conversation with? And many times it has just worked out beautifully. In fact, our friend Julie, who we used her ranch a couple of years ago,
Uh-huh.
she was telling people at the luncheon the other day, she said, I don't even know how we met. She said, I think Jeannie and I met online. And I went, well, don't tell anyone that. Joking, because- but there was something about, I don't know how we did, but someone else that we knew, but it was about a horse. And, I know, horse people and she has horses. And anyhow, that's how it unfolded. And we ended up using her ranch for one of our retreats. And
Right.
she was here over the weekend. And, so it's kind of crazy if someone invites you into their circle and you can make a decision here. It's like when we do the retreats, we tell people the only rule is no judgment, no self-judgment, no judgment of others. And people are like, well, you have to judge things. I'm like, no, that is discernment. Like you're not going to walk off a 12-foot building, because the edge is there, that you have to discern. And so it's like an invitation on social media or whatever. You have to make a discernment. Is this someone that I would even be interested in saying hello to?
Right.
And yeah, so, there's all kinds of nuances here, but I do agree, Cindy, that if you can make time and somebody wants you to be there and it fits in with your schedule and it feels like, okay, this could be interesting. I think it's a good idea to accept.
It's funny you were talking about the online thing. So
Mhm.
my daughter and her husband had a friendly divorce, and so her friends kind of put her on this dating site, and it was a dating site for singles with children.
Mhm.
And so there were two different men that were interested in her. And the first date she went on was the man who sent her an invitation for dinner, that type of thing.
Mhm.
And so she went on that date and she started seeing him for a while. And he was very, very nice, very much a gentleman, all of the right things, but there was something kind of standoffish there. Right? And so the other man that was interested, he never gave up contacting her. And so at Christmas time, Christmas is very telling.
Mhm.
It can make or break people. And so in this case, it kind of turned south.
Ah,
So the other man extended an invitation. And now they're talking about getting married. I mean, they're just so happy.
great.
But what was interesting was the other man who she's with now. He instantly said, "I'm looking for a relationship." And at that time, she wasn't wanting a relationship. She just wanted a dinner or a date here and there. But she was licking her wounds from the divorce, and she said, "No, I'm not interested in dating or anything like that." And so that's why she hesitated. But when the magic happens, the magic happens. So
Yeah, well, and this really is a nice segue, and then we'll wrap this up. But to people who have been widowed or divorced or whatever, and it's easy to get stuck in your ways and then say, well, I would like to have a relationship. I would like to, but you got to do something different.
yeah.
You got to get out there. And I have 3 people that we know now that are Bnow women. And they're in relationships because, you know, they hadn't been doing anything for years. And it was like, no, I got really, you know, my divorce was awful, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they just broke down the walls and said, okay, well, let me just consider this. And so I keep telling them, I do great weddings. I'm just telling you. And I do.
I
I'm
know
a
you
youth
do.
minister. And I said, I do great weddings. I'm just telling you. And you deserve one. So anyhow, well, thank you so much, Cindy. I love our conversations. I
I
think
do.
that we, you know, we see things differently when we hear things from other people. And I've missed our coffee chats. And so
We're
we
back.
invite people
We're
to
back.
share, like, subscribe, get part of this, okay?
Yes. Love
Thank you.
y'all. Thank you.
Bye-bye.